Okay, hello. So, hello again. This time I will try to give you the short speech about remote work. Uh, I'm working remotely in Central and Eastern Europe for more than 3 years, and during this presentation, I'd like to share some, even not the best practices, but some observation what is working and what is not working, comparing offline and online work. And we'll have two blocks during that presentation. First, we'll talk about classic normal times, taking into account that we have a remote team, remote customers, working with them on daily basis. But it's normal. It's only because geographical distance between us and the customers. And then, of course, we'll move to the current age where we have remote everything, and we need to adopt ourselves and continue to work almost normally. And but before I move to the topic, I'd like to stress out that remote work is really more than using technology. Of course, you can deploy Teams, Slack, Zoom, whatever you want to, but in fact, the whole remote concept is about the leadership, about the culture, about the technology, of course. Yes, but those two things are really, really, really important. So let's start with the basics. Calendar. Remember, if you look at the calendar like that, well, this is the full day. You have meeting one after another. In the office, sometimes you need to move from the one physical place to another. In the office, you sometimes can talk, start the conversation during the next to the kitchen, drinking coffee. But in the online, you need to connect to that meeting, that meeting, that meeting, that meeting. Where are the bio break? Where are the breaks for eat something? Where are the breaks which allow you to keep with, okay, usually we are trying to finish the meeting on time, but in some cases, this is impossible. So we need to have a buffer. So technically, because we are talking about the technology as well, you can have all the meeting back to back, but practically, you shouldn't. And breaks should be the formal entry in calendar as well. And those are the breaks where you stand up, go outside your room, go outside and take something from the kitchen, do normal stuff, and then you will go back and join another call. This is extremely important. And by the way, if you will not have a breaks as a formal entry in calendars, someone will ask you for a meetings for sure because you have a free time. Wonderful. Second very important things is about status. In each and every communicator, you have a free, busy, do not disturb, be right back, away, and other statuses. Depends on the type of communicator you are using. And in general, you need to be smart in using those statuses, because free means, okay, you can interrupt me. Oh, but I am answering an email, so I am technically busy. Oh, so I should have in my calendar focus time to answer the emails. Second, if the whole team is remote, then let's do the sharing calendar and agree on the colors, agree on the style, how you are describing the uh, your meetings. What is the focus time? What is the external meeting, internal one? Depends on, of course, on what exactly you are doing. But this should be common for the whole team, just to make the synchronization much easier. And by the way, if you are working fully remotely, well, include daily course in the whole calendar as well. Sorry, if you need to pick up the kids or do something with something at home, it should be entering calendar as well. Unfortunately, this is the way how we are dealing with this in the remote work. And there is one positive thing, because if you have the technology, if you live with the calendar, then based on your past calendar, algorithms can calculate your focus time for the future. In Office 365, we have the insights. It's one of the tools which helps in that. But technically, what that tool does is that it's analyze what happened in the past, looking how fast you are getting the new meetings, and sometimes sending you the urgent message. Hey, sooner next week you will have 0 focus time because you have no 2-hour slot to do anything. Is it okay for you or not? If not, well, click OK. I will book some times in advance for you. This really can help, because otherwise you will try to answer and do normal job during others meetings. So you are either on the meetings or you are doing another job in between. Okay, next things is strange but physical exercise. Please calculate and or remember old times. If you are in the office, you are doing at least 3,000 steps. If you are at home in single room, how many steps are you doing? And remember, I will express this again. Breaks are for break, not for a dance movement. It's formal blocker in calendar for break. And by the way, right now, we all are working with our throats. Throats are also part of our body, and we need to take care about them. Well, we can speak, well, it's hard to work right now. So physical exercise, I know it sounds strange, but right now are extremely important. Next, what about the external people? Right now, we are in the situation where everyone is working externally as well, but in general, the key problem is how to find a proper slot. In general, we need to remember that email is a worst tool to synchronize more than 10 people. You know, imagine one person will say, yes, I can at 2 p.m. I can on 3, but I'm on 3, I can't. So you have this ping pong, and we have tools for that. Microsoft Booking, Simply Book, many of those, just use them. And remember, we are living in technology world, and we're using technology for everything, but sometimes picking up the phone and calling everyone, or even doing ad hoc meetings will work perfectly, and then we can save a lot of time just by talking to each other. If we are talking about, because primarily I'm working with the technical aspects of the cooperation, I'm working on the architecture with our partners and startups. If you think about doing a full day online workshop on Skype, Teams, whatever, it will not work. You can have 2 days for 2 hours online with some interactive aspect, maybe with some homework, maybe with the fast demos, but you can't have 8 hours time for the workshop as you do in the offline world. It's simply different. And remember, if you are planning time for the external attendees, especially for those who are calling you for the first time, you need to add 7 minutes for the technical challenges. Can you connect? Can you hear me? Oh, I cannot hear you. Oh, I will connect my headphones. And that's kind of the stuff. Probably you all know that, but you need to just agree and plan that ahead. It's a very, very simple. And remember, sorry, going back to the Teams, my primary tools which I'm using, that we have a different types of the meetings. One is the kind of the traditional meeting which we plan. Then we have the live events when we can have all hands for the large organization, or even for our customers, because we can have the external customers. Then we can have meetings in the chat. Instead of typing, we can also speak to each other. Maybe it's faster than arguing by typing, and who is typing faster will win. It's a better idea. And of course, we can have a meeting in the channels. And in general, there is no one way or building the online Teams groups, channels, and chats. But in general, groups is simply group of the people. Channel is general per topics, feature, initiative, technology, and then, of course, people from other teams and other external to organization can join the channels. And chats are one-to-one or one-to-many, and de facto ad hoc channels. Okay, what about the people? If we have a fully remote team, we need to remember that we should have at least weekly call, mandatory for everyone, with a strict agenda, just to have everyone on the same page. It's a kind of the synchronized event. We need to have on all internal meeting timekeepers. We should agree on the daily routines for the whole team, because, okay, we are people. We have something to do, and others needs to know that. If we are in the office, we can look where he is, okay, and do something with him. But in online world, the calendar is the key, and we have to have everything in the calendar. And of course, my recommendation is to group all internal meetings on the single date, because then you have almost full week for the working with the partners, customers, startups, and others. About the accountability, this is also extremely important and hard, and I have no enough time to focus on that. But think about that. Everyone who works remotely needs to be accountable for his action, needs to have a clear goals, needs to have a clear KPIs, and we cannot track them. We cannot looking how he is working. We need to assume that he will deliver the result for us. Otherwise, we can do. Watching at the camera if the developers are typing on the keyboards, well, will not work. And of course, in FTiMS, they are used to work remotely quite for the quite long time, so probably it's not a big issue. Okay, kind of my toolbox. First of all, you have to have good internet connection. Better if you have two independent lines. I don't know, landline and something with the LTE connection as a backup one, and then of course software load balancer. You can set up this even on the virtual machine, just to have the ability to move the meeting between the two different connections. Then remember, if you will show only the PowerPoints and PDFs on the online meetings, you are one click before everyone will move to the YouTube or something else. You need to keep their attention, use whiteboarding, use ad hoc drawing, type something, even open the notepad and write the notes, and everyone will see what you are typing. Then you will keep their attention. Also, we need to, no, unfortunately, I'm unable to do that. You have to ask questions as often as possible and get the feedbacks. We have the video. Sometimes it's better to show the short video than the long demo, because demo sometimes is not working well live. Okay, we need to remember about the security, but the security from the overall perspective, because it's not a traditional IT approach where we have the boundaries, we connect to the secure network and we are secure. No, we are in the different places. We need to have the identity. We need to have a single sign-on. We need to have a proper policy. We need to know where the documents will be stored. This is something which we need to agree on. And security is a large topic. I have no time to focus on that, but think about how to build a secure environment for the online world. And now we have remote everything. And we need to remember about one thing, about empathy. Remember, right now, people are sitting at home, so sometimes they simply need to talk to each other. So we need to have more relaxed schedule. Maybe it's a good idea for the team to have a virtual coffee every morning, just to say hi. Simple to feel that we are one team. Again, we are the people, so we need to be mindful of how we are doing, because this will impact our meetings as well. And we need to integrate our work and life, not separate them. We are working more, obviously, because days flows, and we need to keep work-life balance. And sometimes we need to find something to do extra. Wood carving, learning a new programming language. By the way, this is how the meetings can look like. This is normal. Kids, cats, it can happen.